Numbers in the NFL are 3, 7, 10, and 14.
You know how we do in Detroit, son? We do nothing but win. Ready?
I'm ready.
To bite some kneecaps. Ah!
New England is bad.
Real bad. Then the highlight.
It's a close game.
The Taylor Heineke life. Yeah!
I love this pick. Tampa has been overrated all season long, and the people who make the books are still on this. They got blown out by Blake Purdy. Can Justin Jefferson be stopped? I don't know. If you watched how Carolina played with Andy Dalton, they were fine.
Well, more importantly, Adam Thielen is probably like, can we put Andy Dalton back in?
The spread's the way to go. You just have to know how to bet it. Hey, welcome to another episode of Math. My screen's all screwed up, so I'm not even going to point this time because it's always wrong. Versus Smash.
Go green.
Never. It's literally the one Big Ten school I don't think I rooted for. I might have rooted for them versus Alabama, but I'm not sure.
Why wouldn't you root for them against other schools?
I don't know.
At the minimum, they're the state university, man, and you love Michigan.
I do, but I also go to the true value of
That's we went to the Harvard of the Midwest. Calm down, Harvard of the Midwest.
Who is okay? There's a lot of Harvards of the Midwest. Okay,
you know, we got the University of Michigan is probably the Harvard of the Midwest. Either that or Penn State, probably. I'd imagine. Maybe. Is it Ohio State? Should we throw a bone?
Yeah. You know, as the intro to the show says, I mean, Andy Dalton, Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen was pumped for Andy Dalton to be back until he got hurt. But Andy Dalton is the first quarterback in the NFL this season to throw for 3 touchdowns and 300 yards.
300 yards. The Red Rocket, dude.
And guess who he plays next week? Revenge game.
It's a revenge. I don't think you can have revenge on a team that didn't. I mean, they didn't fire him. And is it a revenge game if they didn't fire him?
These days, any time that a team plays its ex team or a player plays its ex team, I feel like they call it a revenge game. So we'll give it to him.
Hey, I'm pumped, man. I've said it before. Bryce Young was never the answer, and their offense looked bad. I mean, we'll get to that, but their offense was vastly improved.
Yeah, I mean, it was okay. I mean, the other thing we can get to too is, I mean, after an abysmal week 2 for both of us, we both really got back on track. I went
10-6 for me. Yep.
I went 4-3 on the obviously the poll pick, so we're sitting where we need to. The Chargers let us down a little bit. That was a tough game.
Yeah. I mean, it was a tough game to call. I didn't see the Chargers getting blown out like they did.
I mean, they lost by 10 points. They didn't really get blown out. It just so happens that it was a low-scoring game, right? And they didn't cover. It happens. Yeah. I think I like the Chargers this week. Herbert or Heineke. I think it'll be interesting, but we'll wait on that.
I didn't miss any bets that I don't stand by.
Well, I lost my Survivor bet because of Tampa.
Because of my pick, you lost your Survivor bet.
The Broncos. Why was it that
I told you they're not a bad football team?
The two picks for Survivor were always Green Bay or the Ravens. And some reason, because those were tougher matchups, I didn't pick them. But like, if you look back at the games, you're like, there's no way Green Bay was going to lose to Will Levis, and there was no way the Ravens were going to go to 0-3. Like, it couldn't happen.
The Ravens are still, and we'll get to that. The Ravens are still top 10 in the NFL. We talked about this since Sunday, so I'm excited.
Yeah. And the other big takeaway from this, really, I mean, is honestly, it's Buffalo might be the second best team in the NFL. And we thought they were taking a step back.
It's hard for me. They're one injury away from being very mediocre.
Oh, they're thin. They're definitely thin. Like, but I mean, they're much better than we anticipated this season. And it's 100% addition through subtraction, right? They got rid of the distraction that was Stephon Diggs, and they got rid of Gabe Davis, who may or may not play every week. We don't know where he is.
Like, do you know where Gabe Davis is? Was he active?
He's got to be on the milk carton. Like, have you seen this man? Gabe Davis.
Yeah, not since he scored, was it 4 touchdowns?
It's so stupid.
Something like that. Like, we haven't seen that dude since then. So,
yep. So other than that, I mean, the takeaway is, I think for the most part, there was some normalization this week in the NFL. And
because we're past the preseason finally.
Well, the big question really on my mind, and we'll get to it as we go, is Pittsburgh and Seattle are both 3-0.
Talked about that. Are they top 10?
Are they are those two non-top 10 teams at the beginning of the year that now could they, like, I have to continue to tier them higher because they keep covering. So I don't really know what to do other than to continue to go where the market's going. And the market is currently lining Pittsburgh as a top 10 team. They're currently lining Seattle as a top 10 team.
Yes. Both.
So I don't know. We'll see. But all right, let's just get to it. I think we set the stage well enough.
Stage for week 4.
It was a better week. Okay.
What a trash game.
So this actually opened at 4.5, and now we've went all the way out to 6, but we still haven't blown through a key number.
I mean, smart money right here, right? Like, right?
I mean, honestly, though, if Dallas wins this, don't they win this by a lot? Like, I mean, Dak Prescott.
I don't know. So the Giants look vastly improved, and Malik Neighbors is going to run away with Rookie of the Year.
Jaden Daniels might win it now.
No, dude, no. It was one game. You're not going to see Jaden Daniels do that again.
Not according to PFT. According to PFT, he saw the next 12 years of his life.
No, of course he did. But like Jaden Daniels is going to continue to be, a decent rookie quarterback. He's not the best rookie quarterback out of that class. Even it's Bo Nix. So
I think a lot of people would disagree with you, but I don't. And I still have no idea who the best quarterback is. Caleb has had his moments. Bo's had his moments, and Jalen Daniels had his moments. Like, those three are very good, and we haven't even really seen Drake May yet. So
I'm going to stand on it. We'll get to the Commanders, but like in the meantime,
I'm not betting this game because the Giants and the Dallas Cowboys both seem very volatile, and it's a good division game, and anything could happen.
I continue to look at the Giants, and there's no way Singletary finds rushing room against a Dallas Cowboys defense that is much faster than this offense.
Well, no, but the Cowboys run defense is rated second to last in the league right now, I think.
It's bad, yeah, but they've faced big backs. Like, I don't know, man.
My model makes this 3 points to the Giants, and I honestly don't know how to react. Like, I have Dallas so down. I don't know.
How many teams are going to be able to hold CeeDee Lamb to 61 yards? How many teams are going to be able to to stop Micah Parsons from disrupting every play? I don't know.
I will say, if you're in fantasy, Zeke is done. You got to move to Dottle.
Time to cut Zeke. I cut him this week.
Dwaddle or Dottle, whatever his name is, and Deuce Vaughn will be your two options in Dallas, I think, going forward. And they'll probably pick someone off the street.
Yeah. For the Giants, like, Malik Neighbors is your only guy. Don't touch the Giants defense for this game. I don't know. I got to believe that the Dallas Cowboys are still the Dallas Cowboys. It's not like they don't have a great offensive line. I don't get what's going on. They did almost come back, I guess. I don't know. Like,
apparently every week, Belichick is going on the Pat McAfee show and basically saying how he could coach Dallas better.
he's just being Bill Belichick, though. I think that's like him just being like a troll.
Well, he is a troll. That's the best part about Belichick now that he's on TV. He just goes on, he's an asshole, and it's fun.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's where I bet it.
I mean, you're not going to make your money on this game this week. Honestly,
No.
it's Dallas. I don't bet this game, but whatever.
Bet the over on turnovers for Daniel Jones. I say money line for Dallas, and anytime TD CeeDee Lamb, because there's no way 2 weeks in a row.
I say money line in the instance of how we do it, where you're picking something every game. But I'm not laying $2.50 for $1 on Dak Prescott. It's never happening ever.
Hey, they pay number one paid quarterback in the NFL. Come on now.
Oh yeah, okay.
Like, who decided to pay that man? Oh yeah, Jerry Jones. This game I like, and I think this is amazing. Wrong team favorite again. Right there.
I mean, if you get 3, it's amazing. And you can also push it to a teaser leg of 9 if you get 3.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, there's some fun stuff to do with this game. We talked about this game right before we went on air, and truly I think the coaches are evenly matched, and I don't trust either quarterback. And I think so I don't really know where to go.
I think the other part is this, talking about a revenge game. Apparently Aaron Jones is still good. I still don't know why the Pack didn't re-sign him. But the other part is this, is that the Packers have been getting by on turnovers, and so far, Sam Darnold has not turned the ball over. So as long as that continues, if that continues, you got 2 really good defenses, and I'm going to go with the better offense.
Yeah. Hey, it's fair. I mean, I don't really know which way to lean here. I make this game honestly the way that it's lined because of home field advantage. I still get roughly Green Bay, but I mean it's close.
Telling me I haven't been playing anything. Go away.
You better check in.
Oh my God. It's never done that to me before. I'll just scroll it about. So Rams, Bears. Why are the Rams or the Bears favored? Because it's home?
Yeah, I mean, this just feels easy to me. You're getting a bad team favored by more than a field goal. Absolutely not. I mean, I think the +3 is safe, but I mean, the Rams can definitely beat the Bears.
They just won last week against a much better football team.
Yeah, so that one for me for sure.
I'm just going to go with the quarterback and coach, right?
Yeah. Can Justin Jefferson be stopped? I don't know. Sometimes it really is that simple. Okay. All right.
I finally got a bet against the Broncos. Question is, can the Broncos play enough defense to cover?
Dude, man, 7.5. I think the Broncos are live here.
I got to go here. My heart tells me, and my gut and my heart tell me there that the Broncos are going to cover. They won't win, but I think the Broncos cover much too wide of a spread against a Jets team that has performed. Let's call it performed. It's not like they've overperformed or anything like that. They've performed, right?
I mean, you got to remember, they're still the team that gave up in the first game, right? Like, Aaron Rodgers just didn't go back on the field, and the defense gave up. Like,
I think the Broncos defense is better than the Jets defense, and it's not that the Jets defense is bad. It's just Broncos have a really good defense, and it comes down to being able to keep the game close, right? And they'll keep the game close. Bo Nix will turn the ball over. So if you want the over on Bo Nix turnovers, I think that would be a smart move. But they'll keep the game close. I mean, this could easily turn out to be my worst pick of the week, but I'm rolling with it, man. I've won money on the Broncos every week.
It's fair. I would roll with it too. I mean, you're getting 7.5. against a team that hasn't won by much margin and hasn't looked dominant yet. I will say if you like the Jets, Aaron Rodgers is going 14-1 as MVP. He's going to have to win 12 games. He's going to have to be better than the Bills. So I don't know.
I don't know how any human being alive is better than
Josh
Allen
Allen.
right now.
Well, Josh Allen is plus 200 and Patrick Mahomes plus 300. So it really is just one or the other.
Even though Patrick Mahomes is leading the NFL in interceptions.
So still winning 3-0.
Oh my God. I love this game.
Oh God.
I love every second of this game.
Give me the Steelers all day long and on Saturday.
This is like the Colts have underperformed. Like, right? Like way underperformed. And the Steelers have overperformed, but Josh Fields, like
Justin Fields, you got it.
Or Justin Fields. He hasn't turned the ball over, which is huge. I am waiting. Is Tomlin going to unleash the field?
I mean, if he is, it's going to go to Pickens, right? So if you think that Pickens is good, or you think that Pittsburgh's offense is going to get right, I think Pickens is probably your play here. Definitely Pittsburgh over Indy. My one concern about this game, how does it lose? Richardson makes a big play on the first drive. They scored a big play touchdown, and then all of a sudden the Steelers are playing from behind. And I don't know if they're a team that can play from behind this year.
The Colts are the first team that I will admit this. I was wrong. I thought they would make the next big leap, and they have not. Their defense looks bad.
It really is the defense, and Richardson still, I mean, he's too much of a loose cannon. He can probably get you 20 points a game no matter what, but you're going to give the ball to the other side at least twice.
A lot.
That's a scary proposition.
I like the Steelers to win.
I'm kind of going to ride the Steelers until they play a good team, right? I mean,
yeah. They have a soft schedule. They have a soft schedule. It's like the opposite of the Lions.
I tweaked their number by 2, and they only lost 1 game in my model. So I bounced them in between 2 tiers just to see what it does, and I still have them winning 10 games regardless. I mean, when you win 3 games at the beginning of the season, that gives you a hell of a head start.
It gets real easy to make that mark.
Yep. So.
Oh man. I did okay. I mean, I know how to bet this. We both know how to bet this, but what if the Carolina Panthers are much better now that Andy Dalton is their quarterback?
If I'm betting this as part of a parlay, I'm going to go either the over or I'm going to go the Bengals money line. If I'm betting this single, I'm betting the Carolina Panthers money line. You want to know why? Because one of these teams has won and one of these teams hasn't, and we're 4 weeks into, or we're almost 4 weeks into the season.
Burrow looked way better. Jamar Chase is still Jamar Chase.
You don't think Andy Dalton, the leading quarterback in the NFL, can outplay Joe Burrow?
Can we put that in quotation marks? Can we please put that in quotation marks? I love the Red Rocket, but can we don't forget Dallas gave him a chance to start half a season, and I think he threw for like 4 touchdowns or something. Like
don't forget that he also took the Cincinnati Bengals to the playoffs. Okay, the Cincinnati Bengals. The Burrow jersey has been delivered.
I finally remembered to equal out the bet.
I was really hoping to come on a win, and I figured it would be pretty easy against Washington, but I think the Bengals might not win this year.
Oh my God. They're going to win this game. They're fine. I don't think it's going to be like it was a couple years ago where they ripped off, what was it, like 10 in a row?
They kind of have to. They can't really go to the playoffs unless they win 10.
Oh, they're not going to the playoffs. I told you that at the beginning of the season. The Bengals their defense is too bad. But they can beat the Panthers. I'm picking
Jamar Chase does not like it there. He wants to go. T. Higgins has not been seen this year. And
he was finally healthy last week. Did he catch a ball? I didn't catch it.
I don't think he played, though.
Oh. Bengals will be fine. They win this game. And like, if you're really feeling saucy, you can take because they'll cover that. But I'm just too nervous that somehow the Panthers are going to keep it close. So is Andy Dalton just basically this year's Joe Flacco?
Dude, Wacko Flacco Flame. Let's go. I want the Panthers to rip off 4 wins. Let's go.
Oh, my God, no. Please, no. This is two teams. Sorry. What is wrong in Houston? Yikes.
I think it's just one of those. I think it was just one of those weird games. I think they're still getting going. Are they 0? They're 0-3 though, right?
They're
Yeah.
0 they're 1-2. They pulled it off narrowly week 1 against the Bears, remember?
No, they lost to the Bears, remember? I was
they lost to the
pissed.
Bears week 2. Who was it they played week 1 that they almost lost to?
Hold on. I'm pulling this
I
up.
can't remember, but they're 1-2, and the Jaguars look like the worst team in the NFL, so
they might be the worst team in the NFL, to be perfectly
I'm gonna take the Texans money line, but my Super Bowl pick for the Texans is not looking great.
Oh, the Texans are 2-1. They beat the Colts and they beat the Bears. Okay, you're right. Okay. Either way, though, I mean, they beat two teams with bad defenses and didn't score that much, and then they just got railroaded by the Vikings.
And almost gave up that lead against the Colts, don't forget. So
I don't know, though. I mean, you can take the money line here for the parlay, but I think 6.5 is a great number for Houston. I'm fine with it. As long as I'm under 7.
You think they cover 6.5 after they've had so many problems on defense?
I mean, but Jacksonville doesn't have an offense.
I have no idea what they're planning on doing. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Jacksonville doesn't have an offense, but I think that like neither does the Bears. Of course, the Bears just kept it close with special teams.
My thing, I think in this game, honestly, I think Houston. I think this is a get right for Houston. I think Jacksonville continues to fall into the pit that they're in, and I think the Texans.
Trevor Lawrence get benched?
No, Doug Peterson will get fired before Lawrence gets benched.
I think so too. But I would like to see Lawrence get benched because I hate
him. Now, I don't think they offer this in domestics, but an offshore book, first coach to get fired, probably Doug Peterson would be high on my list.
Well, Eberflus has a win. I was going to say Eberflus, but Eberflus has a win.
I don't know. If they were going to fire Eberflus, they would have done it that last year. They're going to let him run a year out here.
Maybe.
What do I got here? Do I have this slider? Let's see. We're talking New Orleans.
Why are the Falcons favored?
Again, they're at home. But
all day. Yeah. The Saints impressed me like all day.
Yeah, I think it's an easy Saints pick, but I'm not sure yet. I want a little bit more of the number. I might play with that one a bit, but
Kirk Cousins has looked bad. Bijan is a bust, like I've said all along.
See, I don't think Bijan's a bust. I think Bijan's their most talented player. He's just not used well. Like, I think if you put Bijan on any other team, I think he's getting 100 yards a game.
Do you know who Cordero Patterson's playing for now?
I do not.
The Steelers.
That makes sense.
That's it. Talk about like robbing the Falcons. Like, why they let him walk? Because he was a perfect complement last year to Bijan.
I think they let him walk because they were worried that if they kept him on the team, they would take touches away. But then they handed the ball off to Tyler Algier on 3rd and 1. So
yeah, Anyway, Saints, right? We're on the same page.
The Saints are just poorly coached. The Falcons are just poorly coached, and they find ways to lose games. I know they found a way to beat
some ways to lose games.
I know they found a way to beat Philly, but they shouldn't have beat Philly.
Yeah.
I think the Saints here. I mean, if you're getting any value for any team to beat the Falcons, much like I said, anytime you have a bad team favored, the money line has to have some form of value on it.
Yeah, I like it. Go Saints. I never say that, but go Saints.
Who dey?
Easy. I mean, why not? Just take that. Just take that. Easy money all day. Why do people not see past the fact that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are not a great football team? Now, I didn't say they're bad.
Because they beat the Lions.
That game.
They're going to ride that for another 3 weeks.
I guess. That game, the Detroit Lions dominated the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in every phase of the game. Every phase of the game, except the score. The Buccaneers are who I said they were. They are an above-average football team with an above-average defense and a quarterback that, for whatever reason, people believe in. I just never will. And I think the Eagles, I would take the Eagles all the way to 7 on this.
That's wild because, I mean, you say everything about the Tampa Bay being above average, and I think the same thing about Philadelphia. I don't think they're an elite team. So I
You don't
worry
think
about
Philadelphia's
that.
elite? That defensive line looked sick last week. They were awesome.
Do I think their offense is elite?
If it's a healthy A.J. Brown, the difference was they don't have any healthy receivers right now.
Maybe when that's part of it too. I've seen the Philadelphia Eagles offense 2 weeks now, and 1 week without both receivers. I will say Dallas Goedert for Philadelphia, if Devontae Smith does not play, is going to get peppered with targets, so he might be a target.
He got 14 targets last week.
You're probably right, though. Let's not overthink it. The Eagles are a better team. Tampa Bay is.
I mean, like a much better team, right? Like,
I mean, Tampa Bay is home now. Here's the one thing. Well, this game, there is a hurricane coming through Florida right now.
Is it going to be affected? I think it'll be done by the time the game's on, right?
Should be. It's supposed to hit sometime this week. I don't know. That's the other thing. I would monitor this game for weather. That's the only thing I would say. But otherwise, I think you're fine.
That's fair.
Never.
Never. I'm not. I mean, I know where the money line goes, but I'm not touching this spread with a 10-foot pole, given that the Patriots have played really decent defense.
Once again, if you want to play this as a parlay, yes, I think you include it. Though paying $5 for a dollar is a little tough, but okay. But if I'm betting a single, I actually kind of love the Patriots because San Francisco just showed you they can fall on their face, and I'm getting 4-1 to see if San Francisco can fall on their face again. It's kind of interesting.
They play good defense. Patriots are playing good defense. They have no offense.
They can definitely cover 10. Like I make this an 8-point game, right? So I'm probably going to bet New England at 10.5 just because I think there's value in it. I don't know specifically why it's bet out so far.
I kind of like the under.
I mean, San Francisco scored 3 times last week relatively easily.
I don't think the Patriots can score on San Fran. That's the difference.
It depends how many San Francisco players are injured or holding out this week.
Yeah, or holding out. But like, I had smart money's on the line for the Niners.
I just have a bad feeling about the Niners, man. I don't feel good about them.
Too much football over the past 5 seasons.
Who said we were talking Tua?
Tua's not part of this conversation. He needs to retire. We can talk about that.
He really does need to.
I feel really bad for his family. They probably watch him get hit, and they're like just cringing every time.
I can't believe we get an over-under of 50 on this. I mean, the over-under should be set at 75.
Like, I'm just taking the over because I literally don't know what Jaden Daniels is going to show up. They might set a single-game record for rushing for quarterbacks. Can I get that bet somewhere? I want the over for whatever the total rushing yards for quarterbacks are in this game.
Do you think there will be a punt in this game?
A couple times Cardinals defense looked decent against the Lions where they made some plays. But for the most part, they were like the Lions dominated that game again everywhere but the scoreboard. Their offense needs to get their head out of their ass. But I don't know. Like the thing that I question is this is like, can either offense be consistent enough? But I do like the over. Like this seems like it smells like a 30-28 game.
I definitely don't think it's going to end 30-20 or 21-34. I mean, I think it's got a 21-34 makes sense, right? And you already hit the over that way. Like that's what I think. Like I don't see on the scoreboard two scores that end in 20. I guess that's the way I would put it.
It's a good way to put it.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Chargers,
baby.
The Chiefs, why are they always favored by more than a touchdown?
See, here's the problem. The Chiefs never cover touchdowns, and I don't care if it's now. Here's the scary thing:
is Heineke or Herbert?
No, Harbaugh's down 2 tackles, and I don't think Alt's playing.
Ooh,
It's a little scary, but in the Chiefs' defense is good. I don't know. I find a way that I think the Chargers will find a way to keep this within 7. I said the same thing against Pittsburgh, but we'll see.
I don't see it. They can't score. Harbaugh did a great job in that first game, but like the Chiefs are going to crush Dobbins. Their defense is good.
JK.
I love Muscle Hamster, but the Chiefs are going to crush it. If you're going to take the spread, I actually do take the Chiefs in the spread. I'm not going over under. No, I can't, because the Chiefs beat me on that every time. They are so hard to tell. But I do like the Chiefs money line.
I lean Chargers. All right.
Oh, that's our face off this week. Neither one of us has had Stone Cold Lock.
Well, I mean, if you go up the list, right? What's the Stone Cold Lock of the Century of the Week? I guess we'll see if we go through here.
Okay.
I mean, I like the Raiders in this one pretty heavily. I just think the Cleveland Browns are a bad
Who's starting? That's my question.
O'Connell probably, but I don't really think it matters.
You know what? I'm taking the bait. I'm taking the bait because the Browns offense has come alive a little bit. I'm taking the bait. I know it's bait. I know that's a trick. I know. I'm taking it because I think that the Browns offense came alive. Amari Cooper looks good, by the way. He took over the end of the game for the Browns and almost brought him back last week.
Man, I make the spread wider, but I just think Vegas is a better team. I don't know. They did just lose to Carolina.
Yeah, that's it. I got burned out of it. I told you I don't trust the Raiders, man. I do not trust the Raiders.
When Tampa lost, I was like, oh, it was the Raiders. It's obvious. That's who I should have picked for Survivor. And then they got blown out too. And I'm like, I was wrong. I like
the Browns. I like the Browns money line here all day.
I probably lean Raiders. So that's a head-to-head game as well. But I don't. This is enough, man.
This is the game of the week. Yeah, I mean,
this is called the Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and this is my Stone Cold Lock of the Century.
What?
I think the Bills cover this easily. Why am I getting plus money with a team that's 3-0 with the MVP? Why am I getting a team that's 3-0 and plus money who has the MVP?
I don't trust it. It smells bad.
You want to talk about a hook? That's the hook.
That's bait.
That's one. I mean, plus 110 with the Bills against the Ravens, 100% bait. But I want to take it hook, line, and sinker.
Here's where I like it, and I think the Bills win. I do, but hear me out here. The Ravens have kept everything tight. Even their win was tight, right? I think it comes down to potentially the leg taking a 1-point lead at the end of the game.
But Tucker's missed multiple 40-plus yarders this year already.
It's fluke.
He got outkicked by Dallas's kicker. The dude kicked a 65-yarder like it was pedestrian.
Fluke. He's still the man. Come on now.
I think Justin Tucker's washed.
They're talking about a legend there. A legend.
Okay, Jason Hanson couldn't kick in his last year either.
I'm taking the Bills to cover. If you really are feeling saucy, taking them to win is not a stretch because you're right, they're 3-0, but I'm taking them to cover just in case because the Ravens have played everything really close and the Bills are not 3-0. I mean, they are 3-0, but you know what I mean? They're not 3-0. Also, they're one injury away from being 0-3.
Yeah, the Buffalo Bills had a resurrected corpse or have an interception last week.
Sure. Who is a very talented player, but
prayers for DeMar.
I if you like him to win, I guess, but I just don't trust it. It smells like bait, even more than this. And
I will tell everyone, just so everyone knows, DeMar Hamlin cannot win comeback player of the year based on the current rules.
Yeah.
I don't care what your book lines it at. He can't win.
No. 2 Monday night games. One a good game and one not.
This game's lined at 36.5. Okay, so is it Will Levis versus Tim Boyle?
I most likely.
See,
Dolphins are home. I mean, right?
I've actually looked at this game a lot, and the reason why I've looked at it is because I've looked at the Titans' defense a lot for fantasy.
How bad they are?
Well, no, but okay. The Tennessee Titans defense did not give up that many
Hand
points.
the ball to A-Chain like 50 times, man.
Dude, it's Tim Boyle.
I'm going with the Dolphins. They're home.
I'm not betting this game because I don't even want to think about it. And there's another good game on.
And I do. I'm standing by it. I want to say you kind of laughed at me when I said the Titans wouldn't win a game. It is possible the Tennessee Titans do not win a football game this year.
I didn't realize how turnover prone Will Levis was.
Or how bad their offensive line is, or the fact that Tony Pollard is not a starting running back in the NFL.
So I know we talked about the Bears earlier, but I've seen a picture, and I think it was 4th and goal where their entire offense is on their ass, and Caleb Williams is running for his life, and I feel like that's just the Titans and the Bears in a nutshell, right? You're just going to have a quarterback who's constantly going to be running for his life.
The Dolphins win this probably by more than a point, but
I mean, theoretically, Miami's coach is better, right?
Wait a second. Why am I even doing this? The line's 1.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What if they win by 0.5?
That can't happen.
No. Only reason you get 1 is so you push on the close.
I'll be back in just 1 second. My beer ran out.
No. We're on
just 1 second. I know. Just give me 1 second, okay?
Oh goodness.
Fine. Okay. We'll wrap but we got to wrap it up quick.
We'll wrap quick because we don't have that much to talk about.
All right. This is a trap game.
The most exciting topic in Michigan are the new Detroit Lions.
Trap game. But Lions win. I don't like the spread though. I don't trust their offense. I'm sorry, I don't. I don't trust the Lions offense. I'm done trusting it until they prove otherwise.
I don't want to bet this game for 2 reasons. One, I don't like betting the Lions because when I do bet them, it tends to go poorly. 2, man, Seattle kind of has the Lions number. And I know it's not.
They don't have Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll had the Lions number.
But like, okay, I said that about Green Bay, but then their coaches change, and yet their quarterbacks continue to be amazing. Like, maybe Seattle just understands the Lions organization at a very deep level that I do not. But fair enough. I mean, the Lions are the pick. The Lions are a better team than Seattle. I'm having a really tough time figuring out what the hell Seattle is or isn't.
We all are.
So
I don't know, and Gino has proved me wrong time and time and again, and I wouldn't be surprised if somehow the Seahawks pull this off, and then everybody will be. And actually, I'm kind of looking forward to everybody being off the Lions bandwagon because I'm sick of the fair weather stuff. It's like people melting down despite the fact that their defense has played like the best defense in the NFL this year, and the Lions will be fine, ladies and gentlemen. They'll be fine. If they lose this game, they're 2-2 and they're fine. They haven't even gotten to play like any part of their schedule that's weak at all. The Seahawks are a playoff. Every team they played is a playoff team. Can we remember that real quick? Can we please remember that real quick?
It was always going to be a tougher sled, and the idea was that the team had just gotten that much better, and the defense has gotten that much better, and the offense is moving the ball. They just can't seem to put it in the hole.
It's all on that man right there. I
mean, Ben Johnson's got to take a little bit of it too, though. He's made some weird calls.
Well, he gets too cute, and I don't love. I don't love it when he does. Let's make this big for the end of the show. Like, my message to Ben Johnson is enough. But the Lions are a smash mouth football team. Jared Goff is much better when he's allowed to manage the game. I'm not calling him a game manager, but to manage the game, which is different. And enough with the cute stuff. I liked the hook and ladder last week too. But why are we going to plays on 4th and 1 that they've never ran in a football game before? Why?
when you have an offensive line that can get you 4 yards every single carry.
And you're doing something cute that you've never done. They lined Monty up as the lead back, and they did a reverse open for Jared Goff, and the handoff was a little whack. It wasn't perfect. It's not like they turned the ball over, but it was enough to delay the. And as somebody who played fullback, who was his head was directly behind my quarterback's ass, it is really hard to get momentum when you are a yard and a half deep. It's really hard. Monty is a tailback. He's not used to getting the handoff at a yard and a half. So your answer to 4th and 1, Ben Johnson, was do that? Yeah. So I guess you're right. Yeah. I mean, Ben Johnson's got to wear the hat some, but Goff's been turnover prone. I hate that. Let him manage the game. Let your 2 running backs cook. It was great last week. They both had over 15 carries, which had happened every game. And that's how you win. The Lions win that way. The defense is playing infinitely better. I would love if Terry and Arnold would quit having pass interference, but defense is playing way better. Play smash mouth football, control the clock. And if you win 20-13, big deal. Rack up. You should have 200-yard rushers every game.
I mean, the Chiefs don't care what they win by, right?
Yeah, who cares? A W is a W is a W is a W. Now they're 2-1, and they have 2 wins that are like that, right? But if they had just stuck to the game plan that they set up last year, because they didn't win on trick plays on offense last year. Yeah, sure. Everybody's like, oh, they went for on 4th, all this stuff. You know, they won on a really, really good run game, and Goff doing play action, looking for the occasional downfield and checking down to Laporta, who's banged up for this game, by the way.
Yeah, Laporta's out, which is tough. St. Brown's been a little bit banged up too. I mean, it really is just it depends. Like Ben Johnson, you saw what happened in Atlanta. Like you run the wrong play on 4th and 1, you're gonna look like a fucking idiot. Like you got to commit to a game plan. You don't like we've seen Lombardi. I've seen enough Lombardi for my entire lifetime.
Enough of the East-West stuff. Like
you don't need to go west, and you don't need to pass when they're expecting a run. Sometimes you're just better at running the ball than the team is at stopping it. And Jim Harbaugh knows
that. Literally have the 2 best running backs in the NFL right now. Like
Jim Harbaugh won a national title by knowing that he could run the ball better than any run defense in the NCAA. Now, can that work in the NFL? I don't know, but I'm willing to try it versus any of the weird stuff that Ben Johnson was running.
The other part is that Williams isn't ready to be. I like Jameson too, but he's not ready to be your consistent downfield threat. Amon-Ra is an amazing route runner and slot receiver. He is not a downfield guy.
Do you think the reason why Tampa beat the Lions is because they had Mike Evans?
No. Tampa Bay did not beat the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions beat the Detroit Lions in that game.
I'm just thinking about Mike Evans being a bigger touchdown option. That's the one thing the Lions don't have. They don't really have a red zone target.
They shut down Evans in that game. I mean, as a threat or whatever, but Godwin was the guy that in the first half really kind of exploded. He had 110 in the first half. Evans was drawing double coverage, and so Terry and Arnold had to cover Godwin one-on-one maybe.
Who's that third tight end we used to have that danced in the end zone who was 6'7"?
Oh, he's gone.
Foria or whatever his name was?
Yeah, Foria. He's gone. Last I knew, actually, he was playing for the Cardinals, but I didn't see him last week.
That is the one thing that scares me about the Lions is they don't have a red zone target. So we'll see.
No. I mean, it's Laporta, but he's not this guy. Yeah. So maybe right now, I will say this. Patrick could be. He's 6'4.5". Patrick was a great signing by them, and I still can't believe Denver.
People are talking about that as a good signing too. Maybe a fit in for Craig Reynolds now that he's gone, right? I mean, That's the other thing. We're kind of missing Craig Reynolds.
Yeah, but not Craig Reynolds. Craig Reynolds is running back.
Or was it
Josh
the other Reynolds?
Josh
Reynolds.
Reynolds.
Okay. Yeah. But I mean, that's really it for us. I mean, I think the week straightforward. Don't burn your Lions future tickets. Good Lord, they're fine.
No. They're fine.
They could be 2-2 and they're still going to be fine. There's a lot of season left. The main thing about the season is not starting 0-3. That is the only thing that matters about the first 3 weeks. Because once you're 0-3, you have a 4% chance to make the playoffs.
You're definitely defeating the odds at that point.
So the Lions just need to get through this part of the schedule and get their offense on track. And
they get a bye week next week, so everybody has a chance to get healthy.
I didn't think an early bye week was good. Sometimes it is. Either way, I'm Math. This is Smash. That's our picks for the week. We feel pretty good.
I didn't even have a stone cold lock. Nothing was a lock for me this week. That's rare for me. Oh my god.
There's a lot of parity in the NFL right now, and anytime you feel like you're locked on a team, they completely crap the bed. So
Raiders.
So it really is that. I mean,
hate the Raiders.
Dude.
All right, people.
We got to get the kid. We got to get the kid once, right? I mean, here he is.
Yeah, we'll get him.
And with that, we'll leave you guys to it. Have a good one. Oh, wait. Sorry. One more thing. Like and subscribe. Didn't hit all the things.
We didn't mention. That's our bad.
Love the scene, Snobs. Like I said, a ton of October stuff going on. We might even be
Halloween, man.
We tend to get involved during Halloween, so you might see us there as well. And so with that, a message from our sponsors. We'll leave you guys